Hi everyone, this is your Govindraj. Welcome to my channel 3LR Partner, which is Labor Law and Labor Relations. And thank you very much for all your subscriptions and also likes on my previous videos. So today we will discuss about yesterday's Ministry of Home Affairs guidelines on lockdown continuation and also permitted activities, and with special reference to industries. Now let's look into whether the industries can operate from 4th May 2020. So this order actually has also left some questions and clarifications unanswered. My first question on this is, why don't the government make clear directions or guidelines? Because there are few questions which industry managers need before they decide to restart the operations. If they don't have these clarification, then they are left with confusion and also doubts. Now I raise few questions, and my advice to all viewers is, please reach this video to all the decision makers, the policy makers, so that the state government takes appropriate decisions. Now the first question is, do you need a district administration or the state government permission to restart the industrial operations? Now there are certain activities, industrial activities in red, orange and green zones are permitted, especially with industrial estates, industrial township, and all industrial activities in rural areas are permitted. So far what you are doing is, if the activity is permitted, then you are supposed to take a permission from the district administration or the industry and commerce. Is that still applicable? If this is applicable, who is going to give the permission and to how many industries? So therefore my suggestion is, there should be a blanket approval to all the industrial operations which are permitted, and with few guidelines, of course, because they have to maintain the social distancing, sanitization, everything. So these are the guidelines are okay. So if these not answered, then the industry fraternity will be left with confusion and doubt, and they will not be able to restart the operation. Now let's look into the second question is, what capacity industry has to operate with manpower? Now there is one guidelines which is talks about private offices. These private offices can operate at 33% even in red zones. The guidelines talks about it. Is it applicable to industrial operations also, or is there a different guidelines which is not clear at 50% operations or at 75% operations, which is not clear? So in my view, the state government has to clear this, whether they have to operate at 100% or 50%. So this clarification is also needed. The next question is I have is, do the guideline 5.1 talks about the movement of individuals for non-essential activities is prohibited between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. If so, what about industrial operations or the workers who work in shifts? Because if the industry has to operate, most of the industries operate 24/7 or at least for 2-shift operations. What will they do? Is this industrial operation is also treated as an essential activity? So this clarification is definitely needed. Otherwise, if the workers are on the roads and the police authorities catch hold of them and book the cases on them, it is very difficult for the industrial operations. I have next question. Do employers have to arrange transport facilities for employees? Because so far the government was talking about for the permitted activities, the transportation facility has to be arranged. This is very difficult. The industries are already suffering, employees are already suffering. Some of the employers have not paid the salaries, and some of course have decided to pay. If the transport facility has to be extended to the employees, it is again a burden on the employer. Now most of the companies, only the bigger companies can afford to have transportation facilities. What about small scale, medium scale industries and standalone industries? See, they are operating with self transportation, 2-wheelers, 4-wheelers, everything. So if the government comes up with a strict transportation facility, then it is an additional burden. So this also needs a clarification from the government. My next question is, so far the permitted activities and the permitted employees and permitted people were traveling with the passes, either a vehicle pass or an individual pass. Now if you permit the industrial activity in certain areas, including the rural areas, do employees and the vehicles need passes? Who is going to give? Is the police authority is going to give the passes, or the district industry center is going to give the passes, or the district commissioner is going to give the passes. So this is not clear, and if at all you still decide to give a pass to these people, then there will be you need a bigger administration mechanism to manage this. Even the permission, for example, how many industries the government can give permission, who is the nodal authority to give. So that is why these clarifications have to be clarified from the state government, so that the industry can restart the operations on 4th. And as far as possible, these clarifications and guidelines have to be simple to understand and not complicated procedures and process. See, these questions I have raised is not a criticism. It is a genuine clarification of the industry fraternity and managers to restart the operations. Moreover, if the industrial activity and commercial activity is not allowed, the industrial operations are started, who is going to buy your product? Who is going to buy your product? So that is why it is very important to look all these aspects in holistic view and then decide upon it. And we hope so the government, especially the state governments, take a holistic view and come up with these clarifications, so that the industry fraternity is left with no confusion, and then they should be able to restart the operations on 4th May. So, and it is also required on an immediate basis. So friends, my request again is to also, these are genuine clarifications and not a criticism. Therefore, please reach this video to all the decision makers and policy makers, so that we get answers on this. Friends, I also spoke to certain government officials who are concerned about industry operations. They also told me that the state government is meeting today and they are going to decide certain actions, and we will have to wait if there are any state government directions on this. And thank you for watching my video, friends, and see you soon. If you have not subscribed this channel, please do subscribe. My objective is to reach these critical points, especially industry, employers, managers concerns, and also labor law and labor relations topic to all the needy people. Thank you very much, friends, and see you soon.